everyone. So today I wanted to talk about the film Barbie and The Matrix. And I connected those two purely because of the phrase that weird Barbie says. She gives the stereotypical Barbie a choice, just like Morpheus does to Neo. He gives him a choice to pills, red and blue, right? So and they use exactly the same phrase. So that kind of pushed me to think about it, like how hero's journey, so to speak, could be shown in different genres, in different directions, and within different concepts. Okay, so let's start with the Barbie, and then we're gonna move on to the Matrix and the differences. So the Barbie, at the very beginning, we learn the rules of the world, and they are Barbie land affects real world, and they're purely connected, like really, just like coherent. So if something happens in the Barbie world, it happens in the real world. If something happens in the real world, it happens in the Barbie world. So just like ideas affect the world, right? For example, films affect the world, books affect the world. We all watch films and we're like, films are sort of like the mirror of the world, right? Same way Barbie Land is the mirror of the real world. If we go through any like transitions or changes or lessons as a community, or even as the world in general, it somehow kind of slips there, and all the like conflicts that we have in our world are shown in the films. So same way, they kind of establish that these two worlds are connected and they cannot exist separate of each other. And then the weird Barbie gives the stereotypical Barbie a choice. We're going to talk about it later, but she goes on this adventure. She leaves the Barbie land. She leaves the familiar world. She's like a fish out of the water, we call it. And here begins the most interesting thing. So we have real world on one hand, and on another we have Barbie land. So they're kind of the opposites of each other. We have patriarchy, we have matriarchy, we have male's world, we have woman's world. We have women are oppressed, male are oppressed. All these changes, they're kind of, they're opposite each other. And even like in like normal world, we would say that they are kind of the opposites. Male and female, like we all kind of fit together, and we're on the other sides of the scale, so to speak, right? So when Barbie, she goes to explore this patriarchy, she's like, oh my god, it's the world, their world is upside down, it's all wrong, it doesn't make any sense. So she kind of gets this kind of red pill kind of vibe, but I'm still not convinced. It's sort of like an eye-opening experience, because these two are just different. Like it's not something that you were hidden from the truth and you've got a breakthrough and your eyes are open now. It's not like that. It's just two different opposites. So she explores the patriarchy. It's really fun and interesting. I really, enjoy this part of the film. Oh, by the way, I should probably say I'm not a fan of the Barbie like film in general, because I felt like, and we're gonna talk about it, but when the first time I watched it, I was like, is this a joke? Like, what? Really? Like, I couldn't believe it, because I felt they've broken this sort of like idea of love. And because of that, I was like, why would you claim that sort of like love doesn't exist? It's like, it's just you. But we're going to talk about it later. Now, like, as I was watching it over and over again, like throughout the period of time, I was like, one day I loved it, another day I was like, yeah, that's BS, like it doesn't make any sense. It's like, it depends on the mood. So however I approach the film, it changes. But generally speaking, I feel like there are a lot of like interesting things that don't really help humanity in general. But anyway, so Barbie gets back from the patriarchy, and her world, her matriarchy, is taken over by the patriarchy, because Ken brought all these horses and like masculinity with him. So women has adapted. They've learned to serve men. They've learned to to just live in the world, men's world. And at this point, I was like, there's Ken's monologue, which I truly, truly love. He says, back there, I meant something. So like here, I'm nothing. In the Barbie land, I'm nothing. And back there, I was everything. So, and he also says, now this is my Mojo Dojo Casa House. How does that feel? And oh my gosh, it's like, if you just take a step back, no matter what your sex is, you just take a step back and you're like, okay, so we got two sides of the story. We got black and white, we have man and woman, we have patriarchy, matriarchy, we have, I don't know, it's like it could go on for ages, right? And one party feels oppressed. So that's how it's always going to be. If that's the matriarchy world, then men are going to be oppressed because one of the sides, equal sides, take over. If that's the patriarchy, women are going to be oppressed. There's no other way to make it work. There is no other way to put it. It's sort of like, it's like left hand and right hand. Which part is more important? They're the same. That's my left hand and that's my right hand, right? Just opposite sides. And when we kind of place one above another, sort of like, we say, okay, so now male elephant is superior to a female elephant. Like what? How? Like it doesn't make any sense. You're equal parts. So I felt like this monologue is really brilliant because it shows the other side of the equation and shows how men are actually feeling in these circumstances. However, Barbie dismisses him and she's like, yeah, whatever, you still stole my house, so you should be punished, blah, 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 it shouldn't be like that. Yeah, okay, but you have to understand that it's like it doesn't matter who feels oppressed, it's still there. Okay, so you could say, later on, I was like, when I was in a good mood watching the film, and I was like, okay, well, technically, only girls are playing with Barbies. So the whole film and the whole doll was created to empower women. So naturally, it's better for them to believe that we should be in charge, we should be the main force here, we should not be oppressed. Sure, fine, that could be the case. However, what's the point of the film though? Is it like, because you already shown two sides of the story, right? You're showing two sides of the scale balance, and you're saying, okay, so this side is right and this side is wrong because men are always fighting, because men are like, whatever your argument is, they're bad, they're evil, and women are always saint, which is not the case, to be honest. Like recently we've watched Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and we all know that that's not the case. So again, it's like you're placing one side above another just because of your arguments, and that cannot just like make any sense. Anyway, as we go closer to the end of the film, there is a beautiful, beautiful monologue of this girl. I believe the character's name is Gloria. So she's like a woman who was playing with Margot Robbie's doll, the Barbie doll. And of course, like everybody loved this monologue. I also love it because it's so honest and so real, what it's like being a woman. I just love it. It's like you have to be careful, but not too careful. You have to be beautiful, but you cannot say you want to be skinny. You have to be healthy, and like all these contradictions is just really beautiful. Again, do I believe that it could be said the same beautiful monologue about men? Sure. Like you have to earn more money, but same amount of money, but you have to pay more on dinners. You have to pay more for the rent. You have to give more gifts to your women, but at the same time, like. I still kind of, where is this thin line that tells us what's right and wrong? Like it should be balanced out, right? So I feel like this monologue, again, it could be switched turns and be told about men. But because I'm a woman, obviously, I loved this monologue. I felt it's so inspiring and so beautiful about how like how women are actually living. But anyway, so to even like put it like a big finale and cherry on top, Bob is at the very end, after this monologue, they've manipulated Ken's in order to switch tables and go back to the matriarchy. It's like, wow. All right, where do I, like, at this moment, the first time I watched it, I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to be an unpopular opinion on this one. I don't think that's okay. I truly believe that manipulating men is the lowest a woman can do, and the lowest a man can do is evoke feelings and leave her. So what in the film they do is they show how female, and again, I'm talking about not the physical bodies, I'm talking about the energetical, like energy in us. So how female energies manipulate male energies in order to get whatever they want. Obviously, that would be through seduction, through talks, through revenge, through evoking jealousy, whatever. Sure, but when I was watching it, I was like, that's not normal. Like, you should understand that's not normal. Even though you want to achieve something, that's like, we're going down deep into the negative energies, right? It's not about how the union of these two energies, male and female, is supposed to be working. So anyway, they manipulate Ken's, just like Ken's manipulated them. Although we don't see that quite, we don't see, because scriptwriter has chosen not to show us the moment when Ken comes back from the patriarchy world. We don't quite see the change. How did it change from the matriarchy to the patriarchy? Maybe because it's sort of like it's considered to be a slow change, or it's maybe too violent, or it's too, like, how does that happen over 24-hour period? Like, it's unclear to me, like, I'm beyond it. But did you know that I've read some book and it said that, like, years and years and years, like decades, I don't know, thousands of years ago, there was a world of matriarchy. Like, actually humans lived in a world where women ruled, and then obviously, so men were used for like pregnancies, for protection, and they were really oppressed. They were not considered normal human beings. So that was like a real cruel, just like to an extreme extent, matriarchy. But then male realized they're actually stronger than women, and they have taken over. And since then, there is a patriarchy in the world. Again, it was some esoteric book, I cannot remember what it was, and I was like, that actually makes sense. So it's been, well, let's say 6,000 years of patriarchy, and we still haven't achieved matriarchy. So the whole swap, when Barbie's manipulated Ken's, it's like it was so easy. Like, they've just like made them fight each other, and we're like, okay, let's vote, we're gonna be Barbie land. All right, like it seems way too simple, There are enough women these days who would gladly vote and manipulate men in order to create women's world, and it's still not happening because they, for whatever reason. So I feel like, again, it's not, it's okay. I mean, we're talking about the film, so it made sense within this world's rules, so that's okay. But if we're talking about the psychological side of it, I'm saying it's not a good thing. It doesn't make sense. It's not an aspirational one, because we're, again, in all films, we're connecting with the protagonists, we're connecting with characters. So what writers actually have an advantage over the viewers, because we're able to manipulate your perception. So whenever I'm writing a script and I make sure you're connected with the character, you're technically going on an adventure with the character, and you're sort of like, you feel the characters as if it was you yourself. And because of that, I can make the character go through certain changes or certain circumstances and show you a way out, or show you how you could act, or show you, just what you should do in this situation. And here, where the writers are actually taking us is manipulating Ken's. I don't know, maybe that's the only way when you're really, really oppressed. That's the only way out. Sort of like you have to fight your way out, and you have to, do whatever necessary. In some cases, yes, I would say so, but, yeah. Okay, so at the very end, men give up, sort of like because they are distracted, and women take control of the world. And sort of like it's presented again as if it's okay. All right, so for men to use women and control the world, it's not okay. But for women to use men and control the world, sure, because we deserve it. I mean, it's just different. Patriarchy and matriarchy are just different rule, but it's still, you know what I mean? It's just like it's still disbalanced. So anyway, there is a final dialogue between Barbie and Ken. Again, now we're circling to the relationship question. This film actually has managed to raise lots of different topics and lots of questions. It's really rare, and it takes an exceptional scriptwriting talent, which is I'm taking my hat off for the scriptwriters, because it's really, it takes a lot of effort to be able to intertwine many ideas and concepts. So here, not only are we talking about the way the world works and how it should be working, like in the patriarchy or matriarchy, but we're also talking about the more inner state of the relationship, so to speak. So he says, I believe it was Ken. Ken says, but it's Barbie and Ken. There is no just Ken. And Barbie answers, you have to figure out who you are without me. Maybe it's Barbie and it's Ken. Now that's the moment when I was like, mic drop, I'm out. Again, I'm probably the only one who feels this way. If you agree with me, you're like, hey. But again, I've talked to many of my friends, and they all were like, are you okay? Where were you? Again, let me explain. Yes, before we go out into the world and communicate with other people, with everybody around us, we must understand ourselves. And I'm not undermining this idea whatsoever. I'm just want to make sure that you understand that whenever, it all starts with us. That's the foundation before we go out into the world, right? You cannot dive into a relationship without knowing who you are, without knowing what you want, what you love, what your hobbies are, etc. So you yourself is the foundation upon which the world kind of adds up, as in layers. However, the Barbie and Ken, right? The whole idea of the film and of these dolls in general, it was sort of like there's yin and yang, there is black and white, there is alpha and omega. These dolls are literally the representation of this global, sort of universal rule of the opposites. So if that's the case, and my whole life I believe that is, and we have an ideal girl Barbie, an ideal man Barbie. So if that's what it is, if that's what the dolls are, Barbie and Ken, they were iconic. That's the Barbie who represents women, and that's the Barbie who represents men. So it's kind of natural to suppose that Barbie and Ken are an ideal pair. And so kind of, your perfect love or whatever. Now, what they do is actually they tell us that love doesn't exist. And when I was watching it, I was like, listen, I get it. Feminism and all that is great. Like I said, you have to know yourself. You have to be independent enough to be able to say no, to be able to join or not join certain parties or certain places or people. However, why would you say that Barbie who represents women and then Ken who represents men are not designed to be together? Why would, it doesn't mean love doesn't exist. It doesn't mean I cannot love another person. And she's like, I don't love you, like, but I don't love Ken. Like, it's just me. There is no us. It's, well, technically yes, but then show us how they've came together once again. Show us how they've, that love is still not out of the picture, because they've literally kind of cut her out of this. I'm not saying like marriage, but like relation, like in any connection with another being. So they're saying, no, 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 just connecting is not okay. You can manipulate them, you can use them, you can do whatever you like, and just live for yourself. Work, earn money, be cool. I'm sorry. Like, am I the, like, something wrong with me? Like, again, I don't feel like that's the message. Again, let's imagine that was a different film, and there was a protagonist, a girl who is going through toxic relationship, right? And she finally breaks out of it, and she finds herself, and she goes on this journey of exploring what she loves and being alone and solitude and all that. That's beautiful, honestly. But that's a different story, right? It's just a person who's going through his changes. One day she might meet another person and fall in love once again. That's normal. That's life. That's how it's supposed to be. Men and women are supposed to meet each other. We wouldn't be here if it was, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your parents. Like, you cannot get pregnant without another sex, right? That's just the basic understanding. And what they're saying is, we're not going to respect another party. We're just going to abuse them. We're just going to take whatever we need from them. And we're just going to be really, really selfish and just going to enjoy whatever life we have. Again, maybe if I was on a different journey at the moment, and I was, I watched it at a little bit different time, I would have fallen 100% behind it. I would be like, yeah, that's so cool, independence. But again, independence is cool. That's no problem there. You know what I mean? It's like, why would you cancel love? Don't cancel it. Just fit it into the picture. Again, Bob and Ken. The whole concept, the whole idea is a female Barbie and male Barbie. Why can't you? Oh gosh, I'm done. Okay, so let's talk about differences with the Matrix, right? So like I said, at first, the first thought that kind of popped into my head, and I was thinking about, I should rewatch the Matrix, like the original one, right? The very first one, and see how it could be connected. It is connected a little bit, because they've used, in the Barbie, they've used actually the quote from the Matrix, and like this choice, the pill choice and all that. And I was like, maybe that, it could really correlate. It does, but in a very different sense. So Barbie knows she's living in the Barbie land. Neo doesn't. That's the first thing, which is weird. Like, imagine if Neo was like, yes, I'm living in the Matrix. It's so cool. I'm in the Matrix. I don't want to exit it. It just, it doesn't make any sense. It's just like, are you like, why don't you want to be liberated? Why don't we, like, it doesn't fit into the Matrix film. So Barbie discovers, the second thing is, Barbie discovers a world of patriarchy, when Neo discovers a real world. A real world doesn't mean patriarchy or matriarchy. It's just world, and there are not many people, like, in general. So there is no one who is in charge, and even if there is Morpheus, and there is Trinity. So they both kind of male and female, and we don't get the vibe of only male rule, only female are right. We don't have that. So it's just the real world. It's a little bit different genre. It's it's sci-fi, so we get into this kind of, the real world is awful, and you're all living in a dreamscape. So we also have different characters arcs. Barbie goes from matriarchy to patriarchy to matriarchy. So she is basically circling back to the way it was, and she's like, well, she herself exits, and she's like, I wanna join the patriarchy, but I wanna be feminine and whatever. So we kind of get this vibe of living the Matrix, but I'm not sure there was a mindset change. However, in the Matrix, Neo goes from being oppressed to being liberated, open-minded, and he learns about like the real world, the real life, and there's a clear distinction between like people who are programmed, still part of the program, and how people are not able to, and maybe they don't even want to break out of it. Like they're comfortable living in this circle, red circle. It could also be that, but I felt like Barbie didn't quite push it to the extreme, push it till the end. For example, it's like if she finds out that you need a clear distinction that Barbie Land is bad. Like it's something that should not have happened. It's something that is so out of like, it's mind-boggling. You really shouldn't live like that. How could people be still programmed to be living in this poverty or in this society, blah blah blah, right? Just like Matrix does. They clearly label. Again, in like normally we don't do that in the films. That's okay because it helps our mind perceive the narrative. You label things. So in the Matrix, the Matrix is bad, and the real world, the neon Zion. I'm sorry, Zion is a place to be in, right? That's the correct direction. In the Barbie Land, we don't have that. It's sort of like, because it's just the opposites. Matriarchy, patriarchy. It's like whatever you choose. My left hand, my right hand. Which one do you want to use today? I don't care. So because of that, it's not exactly the Matrix. You know what I mean? The Matrix is like black and white. Barbie, well, they try to label it as black and white, but I'm not convinced. Like, how could you say matriarchy is good, patriarchy is not? Maybe there would be less crime in the matriarchy, maybe. But I kind of feel like women are quite capable of causing all the chaos themselves. Like, you don't need men for it. Yeah, so that's what I have for you. I hope it makes sense. I'm pretty sure not all of you kind of enjoyed it. And well, I mean the video. I don't mean the Barbie. The Barbie is beautiful. I mean, it's fun. There's lots of truth in there and lots of inspiration and you know, just like generally speaking. But because yeah, because of the way they present it, the whole manipulation, the whole men's world, and well, yeah, but don't you think we should kind of work together hand in hand and achieve sort of the world of neither, where we are just together and living peacefully, coexisting together? Because again, you cannot create without each other. Creation comes from men and women together. So yeah, that's kind of an ideal world that I guess not many believe in it, and maybe right now it's not possible. Maybe that's fair enough, but let's hope we're gonna get there one day. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next week.